We are live. Yo, come one, come all. Nothing but love, nothing but respect. You know what we do, what we don't, what we is, what we isn't, and what we is here today to bring you guys and girls One Piece chapter 1147. I'm sorry that it has been a little late for me getting to this reaction. I've been a little bit, procrastinating this weekend. I'm not gonna lie. I could have done this chapter probably yesterday or the day before, but I sort of put it off. Sorry, Charles. Sorry. You know what? Honestly speaking, I do need to be a bit better for you guys and be a bit more on time and a bit more on date, right? It's just I know you guys enjoy it with me, and I'd rather do the lives when, like, as much as I want to just read the chapters, and you know me, I just want to get out and read the chapters. I'd rather do the lives when I'm in the mood for it, as opposed to like on a Friday afternoon when I get home from work and I'm fucking exhausted. Sometimes it's a great cheer up. Sometimes it's one of those like I don't want to get on here, right, and ruin my experience of the chapter and ruin the experience of having fun and reading this along with you guys and, going back and forth with theories because I'm tired or something like that. So, I am sorry. But Charles, good morning, my brother, or in this case, good 2:53 p.m. Australian time. How is everyone? How is everyone's days going? I know my day is going fantastic because I am here with you guys and girls to enjoy the greatness, the fun, the amazingness that is the one and only One Piece. Actually, what I do need to do, hold up. That's alright. I've reached out to a couple of people, but I haven't heard back from them yet about going live with me after the reaction to get a discussion going. You guys and girls know I'm trying to get back into the habit of getting the fun discussions going after the stream, talking about theories, breakdowns, this, that, and the other, giving you guys and girls some different perspectives of it. So hopefully throughout this video, I'll hear back from them, and hopefully they'll be able to join. But if not, I'm sure this is going to be a chapter where I'm going to be able to talk a lot about stuff. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Chapter 1147, The Things We Find Scary. Only Child Yamato and the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage, Volume 32, Raizo, the Daimyo of Udon, expresses his gratitude. And so they're all sharing a meal. Ooh! Damn! Did you guys peep the left-hand side above Yamato's fucking ankle? These citizens have demasked who's who. Ulti, I said I was holding reservations for this. Ulti got hit by Thunder Buggawa and got back up relatively quickly after the fact, right? Yamato in the cover page beat Who's Who with the Thunder Buggawa, right? I was holding reservations because maybe Who's Who just has less durability than Ulti. It's perfectly possible, right? Different characters have different stat blocks. That's perfectly fine. But I was nervous of him potentially getting back up and causing a little more trouble in another way. I wonder, they've demasked him here. We've never seen him. Outside of him when he was in CP9, we've never seen him without his mask. And in CP9, he still had, like, hair covering his whole face. I wonder, this has no basis. This is just coming out of nowhere just because I've seen them literally there ripping his mask off. I wonder if a plot twist is going to be in this cover page that Who's Who is a member of the Third Eye Tribe and just never awoken his abilities. And that's why he covers his forehead. Very much like with what Pudding used to do. Because, okay, Charles, it's a small detail, but it's an interesting detail to show the citizens having ripped off his mask, right? Like, they could have just kicked him on the ground, or we could have just seen him, on the ground. Ripping off the mask, I'm going to be curious to see next week or the week after if maybe he gets back up and we genuinely get a different perspective on Who's Who. Sorry, that little detail there. I'm probably ranting a little too much about it, but that's interesting to me. Very interesting. We pick up, so we're still with Saul, who was getting fucking brutalized by Summers. Oh my god. I don't know how to feel about this. I'm going to be so for real. I didn't necessarily like that he was brought back to life. I didn't necessarily like that Saul was brought back, right? Even though there was hints to it, I didn't like it because of the way it was done, right? So originally with Aokiji using Ice Time Capsule on Saul, right? It was implied that he was saving his friend. We then find out later from Saul's perspective, Aokiji never meant to let him go. The only reason he was freed when he did is because Ohara, as it was burning, melted the ice, right? So, I'm sorry to say this to people. Aokiji didn't spare his friend intentionally, right? That being said, Saul seemingly died, obviously still alive. Killing a character and bringing them back when an entire character's plot revolves around their death sparking a huge part of their life with Robin, it's always going to be like a knee-jerk reaction where it feels like maybe, right? Maybe it wasn't a good idea. Maybe it harms her story retroactively a little, right? Even though all those moments are still powerful and important up until now, maybe it's retroactively painful. The flip side, and I'm sorry, I doubt Oda has the cojones to pull this off. Bringing a character back from the dead to fucking kill them off immediately. To make you double down on hating a group. The world government killed him the first time, only for him to be brought back and to have a face put to the world government that killed him. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. I'll have to keep reading this chapter, but I'm seeing him laid out here, and with the first lines of the chapter being Robin, Chopper, Hyde, I've seen him I've seen him before. He's a God Knight, right? Him telling them to hide, he seems like he's aware of what's happening. He might be taking a dive for the team. For better or worse, it may harm Robin and Chopper's character a little, them not getting active. And, fuck it, maybe they do get active here, but I don't know. Like, I'm very torn on Saul being alive. Aliphobia, what's good, my boy? You stopped reading Kagurabaki? No, I just need to upload them. I'm sorry. I've been poor with it. I will make sure to upload some more chapters this week. I'm sorry. I'm still nowhere near up to date. Like, I'm only a little bit past what I've actually been uploading. I've been a bit busy, been a bit slack. I will get back around to that for you. I am sorry. They're immortal. We can't beat them. Oh, so the Vice Admirals are aware that the God Knights are immortal. And I'm curious in the situation where Saul, who's under Aokiji, has met Summers before. For the children's sake, you've got to stay hidden and wait for the right moment. The survivor of Ohara. Well, I guess there were two of you, huh? The Marines sure dropped the ball there. Oh, and Saul's down for the count, but they're still hiding in his hair. Gunko, you done rounding up the Straw Hats? Are we bringing them back with us? How do I word this? How do I word this without sounding like a terrible, terrible human being? Good on Gunko, soloing the Straw Hats. Great display of strength. I really wanted to see the aftermath of that from last chapter, right? Shame on you, Jinbei. Jinbei, I know she can fucking heal back from shit. Jinbei, you got taken down way too easily, brother. You're supposed to be number 4, the big 4. Currently, you have bounty number 3. You making the team look bad, right? Like, look, Nami, Usopp, understandable. I don't expect, nor do I ask for much from them, right? Zeus, little hit or miss. You could have done a bit more, not gonna lie. Brook is one of those characters where he's either the GOAT or he's not, and he just picks his moments on that, right? But Jinbei, people have been calling him Himbei for years. The man that tied with Ace, the man that put palms, put hands right? On Luffy, dropped awakened zones. Man's been out here putting the bricks on admirals, putting the bricks on Yonko and Big Mom, like all of this. Man's stoic, cool, calm, collected, right? Man's on the pulse of the world. Man doesn't let stuff, get him down easy. Joins the Straw Hats. Man's on his ass. Jinbei, not a good look. I know Gunko is strong. Jinbei, not a good look. Summers, you dolt. You know we aren't here to provoke Straw Hat Luffy, right? We are to carry out our mission and go back home. Yo, Summers is just like, yo, Gunko, you have whatever you want. I'll make that shit happen. Sugar Daddy Summers. How dare they do that to Saul? And they took Colin too. How could you let this happen? Look. Nami calls it how she sees it. All I'm saying. Nami's not lying. How could you let this happen, Jinbei? I thought it would be good with you here. Quit making a racket. I'm trying to think. I wonder how do we handle this ability. That lady is scary. I thought I was a gunner. That woman. No. It couldn't be. That woman, no, it couldn't be. And she draws on Brook. Kia, she's back! The zombie lady! Gutter stomps this. Oh, I didn't even peep that. She gutter stomps this man, draws her sword, but the sword is made of her arrow, so it's flexible like Hawkins' ability. Yo, she's actually unironically just GOAT tier Hawkins. I like that. I like that a lot. So her sword is flimsible and moves, right? Brook, you there, huh? Your life will be devoted to making music for me. You belong to me, huh? What the? She knows Brook's music? No way! She's a celestial dragon. And a Soul King fan? That's one hell of a groupie. Hey Gunko, cut that out. I'm not in the mood to pick a fight with an emperor here either. Let's finish the job. Summers showing why he's the leader. Summers actually... I like this. I like this characterization. Look, Summers isn't afraid, right? Summers isn't afraid to throw hands with a Yonko, right? But he's like, fucking... He's like, we'll do it. Killing him. Hey, we got a mission. Okay, yeah, I'm not in the mood to struggle on the mission. We'll do that first. I can fight him another time, right? Let's finish the job. I like that characterization. It shows, like, he's in charge, but he's reasonable. My sincerest apologies, young lady. My captain, Straw Hat Luffy, gave me a second lease on life. Since then, my loyalty has been to him alone. And if refusal means forfeiting your life, I would... Outside of the monster trio, tied with Frankie, if not outclassing him altogether. I am sorry. Brook is the coldest 10 toes down Straw Hat. Soul King Brook, right? With his little chattering laugh. The little yo! Soul King Brook. My man, my goat. I would sooner embrace death than live without honor. This is who plans to die, young lady, right? Brook. Look, if it's one-on-one with Brook versus an older woman, always bet on Brook for a cold-ass line. And before you say Gunko's not older than Brook, bro, the immortality shit of the God Knights, she's probably older than fucking Brook. Especially if Brooke is like, what was this up here? That woman. No, it couldn't be. Why does Brooke seem like he freaking knows her? Or maybe she's been to a signing. Maybe she's been to a concert before. No, she would have kidnapped him if that was the case. Brooke, she kicks Brooke with the arrow, sends him flying, and her heart hurts. Girl gets the broken heart. Wait. Nah. Her heart. Okay, I was about to interpret that another way. No, her heart's hurting because she's hitting her favorite celebrity. Right. She kicks Brooke. Her heart hurts. Brooke's down. She feels betrayed. She just starts gutter stomping my man Brooke. Jinbei's shouting out, Brooke, we good killing him? Yeah, go ahead. And we get a phone call and we get back to the full perspective shot of Elbaf here. Really interesting. From this full perspective shot here, you still can't see any of the giant creatures. Which, like, the reason I sort of bring that up is, again, no matter how big they are, and we see these things are like 120 to a couple 100 meters tall, you still can't even see them from here. Can you hear me? Warriors of Elbaf? Ooh. Is that the Headless Horseman reference there? The Jack-o'-lantern head? Who's that? A transmission? I'll bet by now you're feeling the pressure from all these abnormalities. This is our handiwork. Oh, what in the ever-loving, disgusting creation. Is that a bulldog spider? What psychotically ill child dreams of a bulldog spider? Oh my god, that deserves to be on the list, right? Lol, whatever that is, needs to be... Dude! Like, this is going to be potentially the worst joke I make in a long time, right? I'm scared of that thing because my question is this, right? You take your dog for a walk, your dog spider for a walk. Is it going to take a giant dog shit? Or is it going to take a giant spider web spindle and just spray everywhere? I'm the dagger. Ooh, that's a clean title. I'm the dagger of the Holy Knight, of the Holy Land, Marijwa. Summers of the Gods' Knights. Artisan Village, southeast region, Realm of the Sun. Marijwa, so they're with the world government? What do they want? And we see that everyone's at arms here. So the Artisan Village all has, they predominantly use hammers. Chiefs, this is broadcasting all over Elbaf at the moment. They're exposing themselves. Hunter Village, Northwest region. Are the kids okay? Wait, what was that? I'm surprised you don't have those in Australia. Charles! Ish nay on the bulldog spiders, nay? Otherwise, no one will ever visit here. Gotta let them see them when they get here. Hunter Village, Northwest region. Ooh, the Hunter region definitely looks like there's a bunch of warriors there. Are the kids okay? You are probably already aware, but we are currently in the middle of kidnapping 10 children from this country. Ooh. The Thorns alive. Weird. Weird. I've never seen a paramecia Actually, no, that's not entirely true. Do you know what? Okay, I can't say that this is too abnormal, right? But like, I've never seen a paramecia, right, in the entire story of One Piece, other than Perona's ghosts, which aren't living, right, and Daifuku's genie, where a paramecia has been able to make a living thing. You can make things that mimic living things that you control, but this seems like a living thing. I didn't notice that either. I need to take my time reading. Hey, Charles, that's why you got me. You got me. I hyper focus on stupid details for stupid reasons. And like, I'm not crazy, right? It's not that he's just like making it mimic something that's alive. Like, it's got eyes. Oh yeah. And we've already taken down, okay, sorry, I'm distracting myself here. But like, unless he's doing what Cracker does, and this is an artistic choice to make this vine resemble a living thing. But vines themselves, right, are living things. They're plants, right? Like, you would assume that, like, having the thorn fruit, even though he can use metaphorical thorns as well as literal thorns, you would have thought, like, you know, it'd be like a conceptual thing, or alternatively, he's just able to, you know, it's like a weaker version of like the Woods fruit, right? Where it's like, you know, he can make like a living, like an actual plant thorn, right? But this thing having eyes and a mouth, like, I'm sorry, this seems so weird to me. This is genuinely a rarity in devil fruits. Oh yeah, and we've already taken down a certain orange bearded guy who is trying his darndest to free them. Something happened to Mr. Saul? In short, you naively assumed those brats would be kept safe, but you're still storming toward our goal. Saul, yo. And we get Mount Beard here, still in the village, not participating in the onslaught, obviously because he's an older fella, right? But like, everyone's got relatives getting picked. It's showtime. Too bad we don't have a video feed. Do you remember the names of all the kids we had march out of here? Of course! Alright then, inform the parents. It's about time for the children to wake up from their dreams. Each passing moment and each passing chapter that the God Knights are in, they look phenomenally better. But Summer's the leader, great. Gunko hacks out, great. None do I think have had such a terrifying debut than Summers, the awakened Kirin user. Like, just in raw physicality, showed like no tricks, no dreams or anything. Fucking raw physicality showed he was stronger than a giant. Did the Hulk smash with Principal Kiba, right? But all the dream hacks and the fact that these kids are on the other side of the island, and he goes, "It's about time for the children to wake up." Hey, what do you like? And snaps them out of it. Hey, what are you doing? Walking out here. Where are we going? Don't know, but I bet it's far away. Nuh-uh, this is Branch 18, the way back home. Did they get turned around? Yeah, but our bodies are still moving on their own, aren't they? So we're not going home, but I want my mummy. I want my daddy. You can't see them. We've been kidnapped. And all of them just realize it. What? Nani? Huh? Calm down, I'm here. I'm not like you weaklings. I'm a warrior. Oh, yo, and some of the giant creatures show. It's a monster. And it goes, Colin, help. Man freaks. Okay, sorry. Before getting into this bit, I got this lightly spoiled for me the other day in a live. I can see this panel here. I haven't read this panel, but I accidentally went through a live, they were talking about this panel. I got a brief spoiler here that these two here are wives of people. So I'm sorry. This copped a little bit of a spoiler for me, which is partly why I delayed doing my reaction. Saul seems to have been taken out. Turn back. We're going to rescue the kids. Chiefs, about that. The ship has sprung a leak, and we've got a broken oar. Sprung a leak. How does a Sfla spring a leak when the island clouds that support it are on the oars? What does springing a leak entail? Are they taking on island cloud in like is the island cloud starting to like flow inside the ship? Damn it. What's this creature supposed to be? Not sure. Some kind of beastly woman? Look. That's funny. Looks kind of like my missus. You're in for a beating. The other one over there looks like my wife. Huh? Hang on. Aren't these things just the kids' fears come to life? Say, Bent's. Oh, say Bent's your kid, right? Yeah. So, if what Bent finds scary is his mum, then that means they're mothers. What? Anyone would be scared by that. Even us. Yeah, they're freaking huge too. I love how that one's got a ladle. Oh my god. One of them just backhands a giant off the boat. They're reaching out to grab him. They're yanking the ship down. Obviously, the nightmares are bigger than what the kids think they are. So, like, the nightmare's size is increased. Because, like, these giants are bigger than Loki. Like, these two women are bigger than Loki, right? Because remember, Dorian and Broggy are, like, 22 meters. Loki's, like, 60, 70 meters. So, like Loki is the size of this crazy woman's shin, right? This woman is, like, what? 60, 120... She's hunched over there, so 120, 140 meters tall. Like, these mums are like Samoan Wolf. Ugh. Yeah. We can't do this. Our spirits aren't strong enough. Oh, because they can't fight their missuses. I kind of like that. Like, you don't want to fight your missus. You don't want to fight your mate's missus. Look, people are probably going to take the piss out of him for this, right? But I kind of think, like, that's funny. And also, you know, Oda's whole comment of the mothers are the scourge, bane, or opposite of adventure. You know what I mean? An angry wife and mum can be a man's worst nightmare. Yo, 1000%. I'm just waiting for one of these things to scream, right? You left something out on the table. I need my child support. Gonna send these guys packing. Been away for 100 years. Come back. I want that 100 years back pay today. Dory Broggy gonna drop dead of a heart attack. I'm sorry for always going out drinking, Mum. Ooh. One of them's someone's mum? Ma, I shouldn't have forgotten to take out the trash. Forgive me for eating the honey cake meant for our guests. Chiefs, this is bad. The island clouds have drifted away. Oh. We're going down. Okay, so they got a hole from getting attacked, but it didn't actually make them leak. But then they've gotten dragged away from their island clouds as she's been damaging the oars. And it's causing them to only have one side that's up, so they've crash landed. And we get another look at Okay. We get another look at Summer's vine. It is a living thing. And it's pretty big too, because Summers is a big lad. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, right? Didn't Shamrock come up to, like, nip height on Summers? And, like, Shamrock's at least 6 foot. So, like, this dude's here, like, what, 6, 7, 8? He's, like, as tall as Dragon. Yeah! The ship of the mighty giant warrior pirates just crashed. Some strong dream demons got him. The odds seem to only get worse for those brats. Let's keep this brief. I am now addressing the legendary warrior, Mountain Beard Jarl. No, Dorian Broggy couldn't have. Seeing as the king's gone, you will... This is rough. This feels like a fight or die scenario. Putting it back on the eldest member, the eldest inhabitant, to call the shots. Seeing as the king's gone, you will speak for Elbaf. It can't be. The giant warrior pirate Sval crashed? I hope the chiefs are safe. Let's hurry. Yo, and the beautiful queen herself, Ripley, running in, her little pocket laser in tow, right? Our goal is simple. You giants will serve as our battle thralls. Otherwise, we'll see just how valuable those brats are as hostages. Ooh, okay, so we actually... Ooh, I wonder if I can peep this from the map above. Hold up a second, guys. Not the map, the country view. So that's that castle there. Assuming, yeah, no, it's that castle there is going to be that castle there. And so that's the village on the right. So they're like barely, the tops of them are barely visible. Like you can't see the village over on the right. The tree line's over it. The swords over it. The barrels are all over it. But over on the left, the peak of that castle and the peak of the gate. Oh god, spoilers. The peak of the castle and the peak of the gate are visible on this map. So that's a pretty long distance for them to have to travel, though. I'm sure you're all curious about the 10 kids and where they're going, right? Library and school, Ainge, Principal Kiba, Killingham. So they're and the school's there. Ripley and Frankly are down here with Dory, Broggy, and Yasan. Scopagaban. Over in the main village is still Jarl, Saul, and the Straw Hat crew. Wait. Yeah, okay. I guess they are all there now. But we're still missing Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, and Frankie's up there. So we're missing the monster trio. This is a lot for the monster trio to be missing. I am not gonna lie right now. Like, the monster trio right now surely should be sensing, hearing, and intervening at this current point in time, right? Not to say that the rest of the, like, no offense, the rest of the Straw Hats, fucking pick up your game. Brethren, I know they're stronger than you. I've seen you fight tooth and nail against worse odds, right? Harden up. But no monster trio here is a real make or break for the rest of the crew, and they are breaking. Jinbei, pull your shit together. Oh my god, look how tiny he is in that perspective there compared to Ange and the snails. I have the names of the kidnapped children. The first one is Ylva. Okay, she's one of the ones with the horns. Ylva, my great-great-granddaughter. Okay. I agree, they should have sent something about her. Yeah, 100%. Ylva must be part ancient giant. She's got horns just like the Jarl. And they don't appear to only be coming from their helmets. Next, we have Skadi. Okay, Skadi and Olaf have horns, but Skadi looks like he's an ancient Oni too, or an ancient giant too. Are we getting their parents? I want to... Skadi. Olaf. A dream is just a dream. Captain, that's my grandson. So, wait. Oimo. Is Olaf? Okay. I think Olaf is your grandson, and maybe it's on his other side of the family. But if you're his grandfather, I'm making an assumption that Olaf isn't an ancient Oni, and it's probably the difference between like how the horns curl up versus just sticking out. That may be potential difference. Ouch. Colleen, I have the worst luck. Colleen looks like she's related to Usopp and Kaku. She got that long nose. Poor girl, looks depressed as anything. Mug, I know I'm strong, but I can't stop. Ronya, it's okay, everything will work out in the end. Yo, optimism. Love to see it. We're just here for good vibes. Ooh, and we see more giant warriors fighting a giant kraken. Why did it have to be my daughter? Okay, who? Oh, okay, Hair. Ronya, you're Ronya's dad. They were on branch 8, right? I'll go save her myself. Okay, the Hair's a fucking giveaway there. Bent. Wait, Bent was the kid named before, right? It was in this little bit here that they mentioned Bent, right? Was it not this giant here? Say, Bent's your kid, right? So, old mate there, his kid is Bent. So that's his dad. Joanna, at least you have parents. Orphan. Ooh. Interesting having an orphan here. I'm still waiting for us to have some like story tie back ins with Mother Carmel. Obviously, since the Giants, Carmel, and CP0 had such a great relationship. And I mean, the Giants obviously had a relationship because of, how am I forgetting the King's name at the moment? King Harold's connections with the God Knights. Joanna. Honestly, out of these kids, Scotty and Joanna have my favorite designs. Bjorn. Just save me, at least. Coward. At least he makes sense as a kid. He's in right at the back, though. Colin's right at the front. Oh, my God. I'm sorry for the background noise. It is, like, storming right now. Like, I literally just watched a tree, like, bend over in front of me. If it gets too loud, someone let me know in the comments. I can lower the volume for the mic so you don't hear any background noise. I do apologize, though. Let me know if you need it. Bjorn, keeping it real. 100%. It was just those 9, but later on, another was taken because he came to save his friends. You suck, Bjorn. How could you say something like that? Sorry. Oh, that was Joanna that called him out too. Go, Joanna. Fucking put Bjorn in his place. The little warrior, Colin. He makes 10. I see Gaban. I see Ripley. I see Ma. I see Pa. I see Dad in Ma's hands. If their kid's getting taken away, Mum, grab Dad. Baseball throw. Don't be a deadbeat. Save your son. I have faith. I have faith. Ripley, put him in his place. Huh? Colin? You hear that, Ripley? Our boy sure is something. This isn't the time to brag. Now we'll make our demands. Listen closely, Elbaf. Warriors have no need for schools. They don't need libraries or their pointless history either. Set them ablaze and swear your allegiance to us. If you don't, we're going to kill your kids. One by one. Help, save us. Huh? The hell did he just say? This man Gaban squats down for a second. We know where the kids are. Let's go save them. I'll smash them to bits. Why is that so, like, apart from Jinbei being completely useless at the minute, Why is that such a clean lineup that I actually just want to see go all out, right? Fuck Dory, Broggy, and Shanks, right? Dory, Broggy, Gaban, and Frankie. Also, Frankie is now face to face with Gaban. They've met before. I forgot about that. Odin flashback. You two guys know each other. You may not remember him too well, but you met Odin and the rest of the Roger Pirates. You just didn't care. You guys know each other. Oh my god, Gaban. Tell Frank, like, in a passing comment, please just have some side dialogue where you're like, you're Tom's apprentice, right? He was a great man. Give him some props. We know where the kids are. Let's go save them. I'll smash them to bits. Elder Jarl, the choice is yours. Oh, this ultimatum. I hate to say, this is a doomed if you do, doomed if you don't situation. It may be in the Giants' best interest to agree, under the proviso that they understand themselves, they are going to betray them at some point in time. Yes, their school's going to get fucked. Yes, their library's going to get fucked. Hopefully they can do something to save the O'Hara texts, right? Hopefully Vegapunk, who's here, can do something about that, right? Even if it's the fact that he's read everything that's already here and it's already in Punk Records, so it doesn't matter. So they actually don't feel guilty destroying this. Y'all, I hate to say it, take the knee. Take the knee. There's going to be people like Gaban that are obviously going to fight back. I hate to say, unless Gaban can do to the God Knights what Emeth did with Joy Boy's Haki Knot to the Gorosei, you are in a position to take the knee. Please wait, that's too cruel. The school is a symbol of Elbaf's peace. And the library not only safeguards our long history, but also the secrets of the world that the scholars of O'Hara sacrificed their lives for. Why is there a speech bubble here that's blank? Not even a reaction in it. Something's been omitted here. Something is omitted here, coming from Summers. It doesn't just belong to Elbaf. You sure are a big mouth. Robin, don't do it. Yasun, please! On it! An unlikely duo springs into action. Why am I just got goosebumps. I didn't even think of this. I've been saying for ages, oh, you know, if they keep that love theme, Sanji versus Summers would be great. How did I miss the obvious? The warrior of love, the missionary of love, Gaban versus Summers over his son, with Robin playing support against Gunko. Robin can bypass Gunko's arrows ability by spawning limbs on her. Great, like, they're a great matchup counter to counter. Thorns versus the Mountain Eater, the guy that just deforests places. Dude's gonna be weed whacking, right? Like it's Killer versus Hawkins. Deep callback here. Years and years ago. It's Straw! It's a swordsman with a whippersnipper versus Straw. It's Scopper, the gardener, versus Plant Life. This is done and dusted. But I wonder if they're going to be able to get past the healing factor in immortality. Because none of the God Knights came to Elbaf physically. They summoned through the Abyss, like the Gorosei did at Egghead. Meaning, if that connection seemingly gets severed, they get sent back to where they are originally, which is at Marijua, because they may not even be physically here, technically. That's the end of the chapter. There's no break next week. Hold up. I'm a still try and pester some people. I'm gonna hop over in the live discussion channel section. Hold up, hold up, hold up. I'ma see if anyone is interested in discussion. Well, Alright. Sent some messages out. Any of the usual suspects are more than welcome to join in if they want to. I'm gonna keep talking about this for a minute, but if they pop up, I will unmute and they can definitely be heard. Dragon, I think ACOG is the answer for their region. Potentially. Definitely potentially. Actually, yeah, I'll do that when that happens. I'll do that when that happens. Alright, I got one reply. Someone's gonna make their way over soon. Perfect. Robin is both the best and worst oh god, I just realized. Hold up. Robin is both the best and worst person. Hey Drac, how are you? Hold up, I'll unmute you. Hold up. Yeah, you can be heard. Hello, brother, how are you going? So, right? Robin versus Summers is both the best and worst matchup for her. I don't think she's going to fight Summers. I think she's going to make a stand here for a brief moment, get intercepted by Gunko. Because Robin versus Summers is a complete countermeasure against Robin. Those thorns hard counter Robin in like some of the most heinously possible ways. Drac, you there? I heard you speak for half a second, but then I think you've gone quiet.
Oh shoot! Can you hear me?
Yep, yeah, I can hear. Sorry, I wasn't sure if you were just letting me speak or if you were cutting in and out.
Oh yeah. Nah, yeah. I was just curious on what page you're on right now.
I've just finished, so I'm right at the end. So
Oh, okay, cool.
I can go back to the beginning. We can go through this bit by bit if you want, but like, this was not the craziest chapter, but it was a good chapter. There was just so many weird little bits of info in it.
Yeah, because I mean, I read the chapter damn near right whenever it came out. So, um, yeah, it was. I ain't gonna lie. There was a lot of bits and pieces and whatnot. But seeing that Scopper and Robin are about to come to the forefront, it's pretty exciting to see.
I'm asking too much, but damn, if Scopper can teach Robin how to use Haki based on the way she uses Fishman karate and whatnot from Sabo, on some Rayleigh Luffy type shit right here, I'm not gonna lie, I may be doing backflips. And I'm not gonna lie, if Scopper teaches Robin any form of Haki, I'm just gonna say, as much of it being a crackpot theory that Dragon is Robin's father and Luffy's secret half sister, right? Imagine getting Luke and Leia trained by like fucking Yoda and Obi-Wan, right? Like you got Rayleigh training Luffy, Scopper training Robin. I'm saying that'd just be cool. I doubt it's gonna happen, but it'd be cool.
Nah, it'd be pretty dope.
But what was your favorite part of this chapter?
Honestly, my favorite part of the chapter, it was definitely it was probably killing him, to be honest. I was not expecting Saul to get done up like that. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Um, I mean, granted, things were expected to happen, but I was like, God damn. Outside of that though, it'd probably be Brooke really standing on business for real. Um, you know, not going for all the little slave stuff and whatever the case is. And he didn't even ask to see her panties, which was crazy. But outside of that, yeah, he was just standing on business, which I really liked.
Oh, dude, I love that he's on his 10 toes down shit. Like, genuinely. Like, if it's one-on-one, Brooke versus a woman, the man has the coldest one-liners.
Real.
Like, on some Kaido one-on-one bet on Nah, 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 nah. It is just definitively, right? This man, one on one versus a woman, talking shit, he's just gonna say the coldest one liners. Hey, Jin, hey, Dom. Yeah,
But my
so.
biggest thing. Oh, my bad, my bad.
Sorry. So, Dom, the reason why you can't see the panels, this gets multi streamed over on YouTube. YouTube has a different set of strictness for panel display. It's to prevent copyright. Everyone sort of knows where we are because they have read the chapter. That I'm obviously late to this, so it's me getting caught up. Everyone else is sort of a bit more aware of it than me. Drac, you're up.
Oh yeah, I was just mainly talking about Joanna because she has those similar horns because they're not coming off of like a helmet or anything. They're just
Yeah.
coming straight out of her head. So I'm very curious on like if she's I don't know, related to someone that also has ancient giant blood because I don't think she has parents, does she?
No,
I don't
she's an
believe so.
orphan. So okay, this is actually going to be a weird. This might be a weird take, right?
Hmm.
I think there's two types of ancient giants.
Okay.
There's the Oars kind, which give you the curved horns. And I think half breeds of the ancient giants give you things like Kaido or the Onis, right?
Mm.
But I think there were two different families of them, red horns and white horns. See how Joanna's horns are coloured really dark?
Yeah.
I think she comes from the same bloodline as Black Maria, who had natural horns, but they were red.
Okay. Okay. I can definitely see that. That's interesting. Okay. Okay. That's W Pool. W Black Maria. W Pool.
Yeah, yeah, Jin, I do. Same name as my TikTok and that. The link is in my bio as well if you ever want to check it out. Okay. I'm gonna scroll back to the top. Let's start this from the very beginning of the chapter again. So,
All right, cool. I have it up.
did you peep that they've unmasked who's who in the cover page?
Yes, I did notice that.
I don't think he's knocked out yet. I think we're gonna get I think we're gonna get a weird reveal with him. Maybe, very very doubtful. Maybe he's a Three Eye Tribe member.
That would be insane. That'd be very cool. But that'd be insane because it's like, damn, that would put a little bit more perspective and a little bit of theorizing and speculations on who's who there.
It
That'd
would
be very interesting to see.
it would also, in a weird way, be why Kaido and Queen gave Who's Who more favorable treatment. Because, like, this might sound weird, right? The Topia Ropo got ragged on by the All Stars, right?
Yeah,
But why is it, whenever it came to Who's Who, no one ever said anything bad to him? And you even had Who's Who and Queen team up to fuck up Drake. No animosity or anything like that. Like weirdly enough, Who's Who is like the most accepted member of the crew. That's not the he's more respected and accepted than fucking Jack.
yeah, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, that's true. That's
But
true.
it could be crazy if, because remember how his crew members had those seeing eye things as well, like they had third eye symbols on them. Because I remember
Right.
that being a theory from way back when. It'd be interesting if Big Mum had Pudding and Kaido had Who's Who, both of them having a Three Eye Tribe member, and that was going to be their attempt of hopefully having them awaken to read the poneglyphs.
That would be. I ain't gonna lie. That kind of makes some sense. I can't sit here and lie. That's a very different outlook. Yeah, because I mean, ideally, yeah, that honestly makes sense. To be honest, that makes a lot of sense for at least Kaido to have someone to have like on his crew to be able to read the poneglyphs. Yeah, and yeah, I
Even if
can't
they
even sit
couldn't
here and lie.
read it, but it was just like the potential that one day they might. Like it was a he was waiting for, like, same as Big Mom. They were both waiting for this person to awaken this ability, and then I'd be the Pirate King. But obviously, it's not you. It ain't you, champ. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Um, Saul, at the end of the last chapter, we saw got dropped. Summers dropped him. Weird thing that I like. I don't know what's like more surprising here. That Oda would kill Saul, bring him back to life, to kill him off again, which, to be honest, I know people would hate, but like realistically, if you made Robin relive the trauma of Saul getting killed by having a celestial dragon kill him, that's a really easy way to make you hate a celestial dragon, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a very easy way. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna hate it too.
I
I'm gonna hate it too.
I don't know if Oda has the guts to do it though, cause like
You don't think?
I don't know. Like I like clearly I've thought the idea of like, okay, you've brought him back, because it felt weird Saul being alive, didn't it? Like how many people did you hear go like, it may have hurt Robin's story, we don't know yet, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Having him be alive though, just to kill him by the bosses of the guys that you thought killed him the first time, is a really easy way to make you go, I fucking hate this person.
Yeah, low key, that does make me think if Oda does like is really gonna kill off Soul, like actually do it.
But can you fake
Uh,
out someone so many times to then kill them for real? I'm torn between whether or not he has the guts to do it, or whether or not he's gonna keep Saul alive and just be injured. In which case, in a weird way, it makes everyone look incompetent, right? Because it makes Aokiji look incompetent, having quote unquote frozen him to kill him, but Saul escaping
hmm
not because Aokiji let him go, but because the flames of Ohara melted him, right? It makes the world government incompetent because Saul survived, and they clearly didn't check to make sure everyone was dead on the island, right? Hey, Sean. Um, it makes Robin incompetent and Chopper incompetent, sitting here watching Saul die if they could have just done something about it in the first place, and it makes Summers incompetent if he's just been like, oh, they should have killed you the first time, and then beats him up and doesn't kill him.
Yeah, it's a lot of incompetence.
So it's like, either this is potentially some messy writing, and maybe one of those times that Oda has to take an L from a writing standpoint, or he might do something that I don't know if he's got the guts to do, and like make us really like get gut punched by this arc.
I mean, we are expected to see some unforeseen events, so maybe Saul might get packed up. I mean, if he doesn't get packed up, then I'm like, he has to do something lore wise to make me think that like, why else is he like still here right now? But
And like
I mean,
in a weird way, like, you know how he acknowledges, right, that he's met Summers before and the God Knights before.
hmm
Unless he somehow knows their weakness, which doesn't make sense to me, because if that was the case, why would he let himself get fucked up like this? It doesn't make sense for him to be
yeah,
alive for the purpose of something like that, especially when you got someone like Gaban, who's probably a better person to like show something like that. So it's kind of
yeah, that's real.
like Saul's in just such a he's Schrodinger's character at the moment, where it's like, what's your purpose?
I mean, like outside of him being a Declan member, he hasn't really done too much outside of like, I don't know, allowing for the books to still be brought. So it's like, I don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's in a weird, like his character's in a weird position right now.
Also, I don't know how I feel about Jinbei this chapter. Like, I understand he's like, trying to think of a way to handle Gunko, but dude just let him and three of his crew members get packed up and Saul get fucked up in front of him.
Yeah, I was kind of sick at what performance Jinbei had, but I mean, like, it's kind of like, what can he do? But it's like at the same time, it's like, damn. Like I do see the reasons on why he doesn't just get up and do everything else,
Yeah,
because I mean, it
like
could possibly like harm the rest of the crew while
Like,
he's trying to fight them.
why waste the
So I
stamina
mean,
fighting if you can't come up with a way to counter it when you can, like, take five, pretend to be tied up, think of a counter plan, and then put it into action? But it's like, is he
right.
waiting to counter, or is he sitting down because he literally couldn't do anything? In which case, no offense, bud, throw a big water punch, turn their bodies intangible for a second, grab the troops and fucking bail. Grab Saul by the hair and dip. Like, at least protect the injured, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's like I don't know what Jinbei's like. I don't know what his game plan is right now. Like at first, I knew what his game plan was. Like he was like, I'm finna come in here, I'm finna do my due diligence, and we're finna get away. Now I'm like, I don't, I'm stuck at, I'm back at square one now because it's like he's just there right now.
And, like,
It's like what the fuck?
I the reason why it's such a it's such an odd problem for me, and like I may be being way too critical of Jinbei, right? But Jinbei's one of
Hmm.
those characters that's cool, calm, and collected, and always acts with purpose. But he never sits by and lets actions pass him by, right? Whether it's Ace going after Whitebeard, proactive. Whether it's an Impel down, Luffy trying to break out, he breaks out, takes down the Awakened Zone users, proactive. Whether it's him and Marineford actively body blocking and taking hits from Admirals, proactive. Him and Whole Cake Island, right? Taken on skinny Big Mom, right? Proactive. It seems so weird. Like, even when he's up against odds he can't beat, he still does something. Whereas here, it's like, sit on your ass and wait. It feels weird.
Yeah, from many different examples of like what he's done, it's yeah, it's very strange to like see him as he is right now. Unless he's just like, I don't know. Let's just wait on Luffy and Zoro and Sanji. They'll figure it the fuck out.
Mm.
Like I don't like. It's just like I don't know, man.
Which is the other thing.
Jinbei has me thrown for a loop.
Like, okay. Maybe I'm being too critical. I think it's next chapter or the chapter after. It's probably going to be the main, like, focus of the chapter, right? But like the thing that's sort of like odd with me right now, right? Monster Trio's
Hmm.
not here, so a lot of this shit can fly because Luffy's or Sanji's not here. Jinbei,
Right.
like, bounty wise right now, you're above Sanji, below
He's supposed to be
Zoro.
number three.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're supposed to be three.
you're
Like,
number three. You're number three. Personally, I think you're number four. Right now, you're acting no different to number seven, number eight. You know what I
real.
mean? So I'm like even at
Like
the
at this
end,
point, I think Frankie's doing more.
even at the end,
Like,
even at the end of the chapter, Robin's making a move before this man.
I ain't gonna lie, I got Frankie in five, man. I got Frankie at number four. No, I'm just playing. But like realistically, like Frankie would be doing more at this point. Like shit, he would have brought out some type of gadget, like something. Like fuck,
Not
Jinbei.
just
Like
not just Frankie, like, quite literally. Like, we can scroll back up, right? Jinbei,
even no, even Usopp. Honestly, Usopp even made a first move. Like I was like, damn.
Jinbei got kicked. No, sorry, didn't even get kicked. Sorry, Jinbei threw one punch, got it redirected at Brook. Brook's attack knocked him off the ship in the air, and that's all Jinbei's done. Brook at least stood up and said, "Listen here, you little bitch. I ain't gonna fuck around with you. It's captain's orders, right?" Like,
Exactly.
everyone, even Usopp being terrified, everyone stood more 10 toes down than Jinbei here in hindsight, and I like. It feels so weird for a dude that's supposed to be like the enforcer. He's an enforcer of the Straw Hats. I don't
I
know.
don't know, man.
Maybe I'm ragging on him too
I,
much. Sean, thanks for the roses, bud.
I,
But
I mean, possibly.
you get what I mean. Like, it feels weird, especially since they're a Yonko crew now. Jinbei's been on 3 Yonko crews, a captain of his own crew for 20 plus years.
It's like I don't. I need more from Jinbei because like there's more to be like expected from him as of like everything that he has done. Like, come on, fam. It's like I understand we don't have like a direct solution for like the whole like quote unquote immortality. It's really just regen, but like uh,
Ooh,
it's just like come on, man.
I'm I'm not gonna lie, right? Remember how, like, a couple of chapters ago, the first thing that they thought and posited, right, was, these must be devil fruit abilities, and we must just not know where the devil fruit users are, right?
Right.
Jinbei comes face to face with them, right? As someone trying to fight devil fruit users, what are the three most common counters for a devil fruit?
Seastone, hockey, or a direct counter.
Water. Jinbei.
Oh yeah, also water.
Jinbei.
Yeah.
There's clouds everywhere. Moisture everywhere. Launch a current through. See if their immortality factor turns off if they're completely submerged in the water.
I don't know what Oda's play is here.
It's interesting. Although, crazy that Gunko is kind of seeming like I say the post-time skip, but he's appeared post-time skip. No, she's just a better version of Basil Hawkins.
Real.
Like, you know how Hawkins has that straw sword that was like able to be like move around and impale people?
Right.
Bro, she makes that same thing here. Hawkins diverts damage to other people, sweet. She's just got like the regen factor, cool, right? But like she's just like out here like Hawkins, just like, you know, I can change fate, redirect your shit back on you. Yeah, can't be damaged, eat shit. Oh yeah, I got my flimsy sword that can impale you, right? Okay, Gunko kind of awesomely foul at the moment.
Ah, yeah, she kicked the fuck out of Brooke. I can't lie.
Mm.
Like, no cap. I can't lie. As soon as he said, nah, bro, I'm not going for that, bro. I'm not finna be a devotee to you. Get the fuck out of Brooke, low
So
key. Like, she's low key been standing on business, and I like it.
so you see the panel where she kicks Brooke, right?
Right.
Directly under that, she grabs a heart. Like, while reading the chapter, I was like, my first thought is like, okay, she's grabbing a heart because she's feeling pained that she's kicking her idol, right? Part of me paused for a second because I went to say, did kicking Brooke hurt her? No different to as if she didn't have the healing factor. And I stopped myself because I remember Brooke attacking Saturn and cutting off Saturn's leg and it not hurting Saturn, and Saturn grew it back, right? But like, there's potential that that's not her holding her heart because, you know, she really likes Brooke. There's potential that there's maybe something happening there that's not explained yet. That's maybe like Brooke's accidentally just shown a counter to her. You know what I mean?
It could, so one that could also be another scenario. It could also be the fact of like, whenever it comes to like the Holy Knights or just them in general, it could just be like, if they have some type of, I guess you could say like bond, or not even bond, but like I say love or whatever the case is, even if it's like admiring the said person and it like pretty much fucks up like maybe the connection to the abyss. I don't know. Maybe you're supposed to cut off all type of like loving emotions or whatever the case is. Maybe that might fuck up the abyss connection, something like that.
Maybe. Can't have any strong emotion. Like, if you show an emotion too strong, it like severs the link. You got to kind of remain neutral, kind of
Yeah,
like with
like
observation haki.
exactly, like something like that. Because I see the abyss being something similar to like you said, observation, something along those lines. Because it doesn't make sense for them to be like, I don't know, like just like out there to just be like, yeah, this is something that's brand new. No, I think it would have to be something that's very central to something that Oda has already done. He's just making it look different. I think that's ideally what it is. Even though, of course, it might have a different link to like the whole love thing that maybe Summers has or whatever the case is. But I think the whole emotion being neutral thing probably connects to that. I'm assuming.
That makes sense, because that could also be an alternative explanation for like how Joy Boy, his haki dissipated the Gorosei from Emeth, where it was like, you know, maybe like potentially, right, when they sense that haki, super strong emotion hit and they went, oh fuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Berber,
Exactly.
what if Jinbei has the answer for the God Knights but wants Robin or Gaban to show it first? I hate to say it, I don't think that's the case, because if Jinbei already has the answer, enact
He
on
would
it.
have did it.
Yeah.
He would have did it.
And if it's a Gaban or Robin, like I hate to say it, right? Robin is just like a weaker version of Jinbei's kit, but she can spawn it anywhere. So like, my mindset is at the end of the chapter, right? Summers, the dude of love, versus Gaban, the missionary of love. Robin is probably going to fight Gunko, which means Robin's probably going to counter Gunko's abilities for the most part because the arrows won't matter if she spawns attacks on Gunko's body, right? It's kind of like a safe counter. But Robin's like forte, apart from like physical grapples, is Fishman Karate, which is just a weaker version of Jinbei. So if she's going to be able to hurt Gunko, right, then Jinbei should have been able to hurt Gunko. Unless, like I said, maybe Gaban shows him some crazy new technique or something to do here. It's definitely possible. Although, Drac, what about Summers bringing that vine to life?
See, I'm perplexed right now on that right now. Like I'm trying to figure out a solution in my brain that's like making sense for it. Like if it's and I'm trying to think of like parallels that we've probably previously seen. That's what I'm trying to think of to make it make sense to me. Right now I have no answer for it. But it's pretty dope though. Like I can't say that. It's pretty dope.
Like, Summers has such odd abilities, and I'm like in a weird way, like we've seen his abilities, but we haven't seen how he fights yet. You know what I mean? Because like
Hmm.
on paper, killing him has better abilities, right?
Yeah, but I'm thinking Summers has better. I can't lie. I
Look,
don't know why, but it's like
I'm
Summers just seems like he has it.
I'm just thinking from a fighting standpoint, bringing a vine to life that can like fight separate to you around you means essentially no matter what you're going into a fight, it's a 2v1. The same way that Big Mom with her homies, even if the homies are weaker than her opponents, can be a huge nuisance in a fight, right?
So, I mean, do we know? Well, I mean, did that vine already have like thorns in it, essentially?
Well, that's the thing. He seemingly created it last chapter, but it didn't have a face, eyes, and a mind. But then this chapter, it's alive.
Yeah. So it's like, because I was thinking like, okay, if it already had thorns on it, then I can see why he was able to do so. But it's like, it didn't have a face on it. So I mean, it's like, fuck, I don't know. I need my brain to process this. That's
Because,
what I need.
like, if we like, so seemingly he's a swordsman, even if the sword has like thorns in that. So like a swordsman or a clubsman, right? That's fine, right? But like, imagine actually like, depending on how Oda does this, the application of him in a fighting scenario, right? Puts metaphorical thorns around different body parts and limbs of yours so they can't touch. So like, puts it around your arms, like around your biceps. Now you can't lower your arms, otherwise you're gonna stab yourself, right? So your movement's
It's
limited
true.
or you're injured. A living vine coiling around you, changing the battlefield, and like wrapping you up and barbing you up, plus him actually fighting you. So it's like battlefield control, reducing your mobility, self like self damaging, plus whatever he's actually capable of as an individual fighter.
Yeah. Just like, man, bro. And then that club that he has, that shit is big as hell.
Mm. Well,
That shit is overly big as hell.
I
That
think
shit
it
is ridiculous.
I think it can grow to any size like Hawkins' straw sword.
Yeah, that's also another thing as well. I mean, of course, he probably made it that big just because he's fighting Saul, which is a giant, but it's like, god damn,
Mm.
that shit still is big as hell, which is funny.
Absolutely wild. It was
And then I noticed the big ass griffin.
the what? The Griffin.
Uh, yeah, the griffin that was
Mm-hmm.
like I think we see it on page 9 and 10, I think.
Yeah.
it like it made me think of like whenever we hear back in Whole Cake Island how the three races that like or not three races but the three species that
Big Mom doesn't
Big
have.
Mom wanted was a griffin and then two other ones I can't recall but I know that there was a griffin and so I was like that's very interesting so I'm like there's
course we have like actual griffins that are in the story, but it's like now they're being mentioned right now in Elbaf. That's very interesting.
Griffin's cool. Thing that scares me: bulldog spider, giant bulldog
Yeah,
spider.
that shit was crazy. That shit was crazy.
Who?
Cause it
What? What fucked up child came up with that?
yeah, you're on some different shit. Like, I don't know. I was gonna be like, damn. I mean, that's some shit you look up on like YouTube and shit. Whenever you're just like, I don't know, curious. Like, you're just looking up random shit, like a dog spider or something, and then it's like this. But it's
Bro,
like, damn, like
it
somebody had to tell you like a camp story. Like,
that's like some ridiculous, like, not even a camp story. That's some AI generated nightmare thing. Like, combining two of the most common nightmares together.
nah, that shit isn't right though, man.
Mm.
I must say,
But
like,
dude,
Jesus.
killing him never fails to impress. Love that he's just able to wake the kids up, showing it doesn't matter how far away he is from them. He can control like the awake and the sleep of them.
Yep.
That was cool. Um, Weird one. Like, I know all of the nightmares were giant, but it was kind of weird that the two mothers that were attacking were nightmare versions of these guys, like wives or mothers, right?
Hmm.
Which is wild in a way, because if it's these guys' wives and they're that big, the nightmare abilities of the Kirin fruit, you can change the size of the nightmare. Because like, these came from the kids, right?
Yeah.
The kids think they're big, but they're not going to think they're, 40 times their actual height.
I mean, ideally, killing him would be able to, of course, change that size. I mean, maybe it also goes into like how much you feel your like you fear your mother, essentially. Like, and
The
he
more
can
fear, the
pretty
bigger
much
it
use
is.
that to determine, yeah, like pretty much determine if he wants it to be that much bigger or something along those lines. I think that would make a little bit more sense for it, I guess.
That's possible. That's definitely possible.
Because it's like, I mean, granted, you're gonna be scared of your mom. Like
Mm.
some people are like, yeah, hell no, I'm not doing nothing to my mother. So then that just builds up that fear factor of which he can make them that much bigger.
But we also get the runoff of who's related to who, which is kind of cool. Like, we sort of touched on it at the beginning, right? Few people
Yeah,
related to a few other people. Honestly, I think it's just like more showing like, if we actually have to do like another rescue arc, it's gonna be like who tags along, for their kids. Um, Nothing too crazy. Honestly, I think Joanna is gonna be a weird standout because her having no parents, it's gonna be like a who's gonna come to save her sort of thing. You know what I
right.
mean? But chapter ends obviously with like Ripley, Gaban, and Frankly meeting up with Dory and Broggy before launching like up to action, like to go help Robin and that, right? How quick do you reckon it's gonna take Gaban to get there?
Low key, he was fake zooming. I can't low key, he was low key moving from like the point of which like they I mean Frankie should be also with them. Because I mean I definitely saw Ripley holding him. So I mean Frankie should also be there as well.
I don't
But I
think
mean, of
Frankie's
course,
that fast, unfortunately.
and Ripley, just throw him, man. He'll make it,
Yeah,
bro. I promise.
yeet it.
He's good for it.
Who-
But shoot, I don't know. I think he should maybe be like, shit,
Oh
maybe.
shit!
I mean, we get the diagram, so let me see. The
Oh,
Giant Warriors are over there.
dumb question.
What's
When
up?
the Sval, the boat crashes, the smoke that's there, that's the smoke from the dust of it crashing, right? It's not now
Yeah.
ignited because low key, if that thing caught a blaze, it's no longer on a branch; it's on the trunk.
Nah, yeah, you're actually right. Yeah, because I just went to the panel of it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. That's not gonna look too pretty now.
That might be something to keep an eye out for. Yeah, Tristan, that's Drac. That's Drac. Actually,
Yes,
yes.
sir.
To anyone watching this on YouTube or anyone watching this over on TikTok, right? If you aren't already, follow Drac. He's awesome. Dracula Dear Age, right? Mutual friend of mine
Appreciate it.
in my Discord. This, that, and the other, right? Fucking
Yes, sir.
awesome guy to talk about One Piece with. Never
Of
knocks
course.
back a
I'm always
theory,
noting
whether
it.
he agrees or disagrees with it. Listen to you, and then tell you how you're wrong.
Hey man, like I'm open to hear any type of theory. Of course, I'll give my own little tangent piece or whatever the case is. But shoot, I like hearing theories more than I give them out, to be honest. Because shoot, I like seeing different perspectives from my own.
Mm.
So we got to make sure that we see the lost continent of Mu, man.
Yeah,
Gotta
dude,
see
I'm
it.
so. If that ever comes true, you know I'll be doing a backflip, and I can't backflip. I'll be doing all
I'll
sorts
do
of
one for you.
hours.
I'll do one for you. I got you.
This chapter ending obviously with Robin and Gaban making their move, right? What is your prediction for next chapter?
Next chapter, I pray that we see something that's very similar to like the sign of whenever Robin was fighting against Black Maria. Maybe an awakening, maybe a little bit of that. Hopefully, I pray. Um, Outside of that, I would expect that one of the kids is probably going to be like on the chopping block. Maybe Colin. Nah, I don't think they would probably pack off Colin first. Maybe Bajorn, probably, especially because he said save me at least. So maybe they might put him on the chopping block first. But um, so yeah. Then I have Gabon fighting Gunko. That's my main thing. That's really what I want to see. Let's see, because I mean, then it would spark off like Sanji hearing like, oh, Gabon fought Gunko. He's a woman. Like Gabon's probably gonna hit him with that. Hey man, this love is just gonna hurt. That's really what it is, man. Like
See,
that's what it is, bro.
the monster trio currently are directly beneath them in the next level down.
Right.
So I can see a really like I could see like you know how this chapter ends with Gaban and Robin charging in.
Mhm.
I could see like next chapter ending with like monster trio, you know, doing this a similar sort of thing and arriving.
Nah, yeah, because I mean, shoot, Sanji's gonna hear about everything that's going on. He's gonna tweak out. Luffy's gonna be mad as hell. Um, Zoro's just gonna be like, yeah, I mean, shit, we're here. We're gonna drink after. It's real.
Weirdly enough, it'll be hard though because they've got Loki with them, right? And Loki and Luffy have just eaten up and healed up. Not all three of them can come up. One of them's gonna have to stay to keep an eye on Loki, and I don't know if Loki's gonna assist in this situation.
Maybe Luffy stays back.
It's possible. And if Luffy stays back, it's also possible that we lose in some way, shape, or form here because Luffy didn't get involved.
Which, I mean, I'd be fine with that. Like, if we're just gonna be like, you know what, Luffy, you got to stay back. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're the captain. We can handle this. Like, this is whatever the case is. It doesn't work out, such and such, and then we get some type of loss here. So, I mean, it's definitely possible.
I could see them fighting for a bit, not being able to hurt the God Knights, potentially even with Gaban here, not being able to hurt the God Knights, right?
Right.
And this is a hard thing, right? Remember when Gaban showed up and fought Luffy and Zoro, and said, "Come find me before you leave this island," and they brushed him off. They didn't really care.
Yeah.
It's really easy, I think, for us to forget. As a Roger pirate, he probably knows where that last poneglyph is and who has it, even if he's not the man marked by flames. Shit, he even knows.
Sunbelt.
He even knows where the One Piece actually is. He could tell them where it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, he
Like
definitely could.
he's
Luffy's
not
probably not going for it.
he's probably not gonna like spoil it like that, but like he knows where the One Piece is, what the One Piece is, right?
Right.
He's
Hmm.
he's chilling here. It's gonna be really interesting if he can fuck up the God Knights, but can't undo their healing factor. And that's kind of like one of
Yeah.
the reasons why the Roger Pirates just couldn't do shit.
Yeah, and they just said, "Fuck it," we're just gonna go for the women, man. That's that's what we can really do here. Nah, that'd be crazy. I can't lie. And I mean, also, it's to the same regard. Like Summers and all of them are not trying to fight Luffy. They're not. They're not trying to provoke him, even though it's very contradicting because they're already doing that because they're fighting his crew. But hey, man,
And
like,
Luffy
what
and
can you really
them,
do?
in a weird way. So like, okay, I'm like theorist time here, prediction time.
Like it.
What might end up happening, right? Next chapter, Robin and Gaban engage the enemy.
Okay.
Chapter after that, we see the perspective of the Straw Hats down below, the monster trio, having sense what's happening and go, Zoro and Sanji go, we gotta make a move. Luffy, stay here, keep on top of him here, we'll let you know what happens, right? They dip up
What the
to
fuck?
they dip up top to go give more support. Straw Hats are fully engaged. At this point in time, Summers has been fighting them for a bit, getting fucked up but not getting hurt. Summers hits the moment where he re-hits the Jarl and goes, make your decision now or I kill the kids.
So just put him in an ultimatum.
Having nothing else to do, the Jarl may say, stand down. We'll agree to help them. It's not worth the kids' lives.
That's probably what's gonna happen.
And if that happens, the Straw Hats may or may not agree, but they may no longer represent Elbath because of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's highly true.
So, something really messed up could happen is whether the God Knights get, like, dispersed back or what, it's possible, if it's not all, understandable, but it's possible some of, if not all, the kids get kidnapped, or they do an ultimatum when the Giants agree. They're like, sweet, you can have half the kids back now and half the kids back after.
And Colin is not gonna be one of the five that is gonna be. Yeah, he's gonna be after for sure.
So
Especially because they pointed out the whole thing about him.
So you get where I'm coming from there, where it's like this may have a situation where the Straw Hats can't do anything immediately here. Elbath has to make a stand, and the stand's probably going to be to, keep kids alive, their kids especially. But they don't, like, the world government doesn't have their loyalty, so they can't just hear them say yes, and then hand the kids back, unless there's some crazy devil fruit that's like you can't break your word. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah, they got a binding. They got a binding vow.
So they have to keep some form of insurance for it. So the kids are currently walking back towards the castle, which is where the God Knights arrived, right? Like when Shamrock and Gunko first arrived. But on that same path is also one of the bridges down below to go down to put a potential boat down on the smaller island in the underworld to just leave. So it's like, either way, they're heading towards two potential exits. Castle or down below to leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's yeah.
I don't know, even if the Jarl and the Giants agree to side with them to try and protect the kids, I don't know if the Straw Hats would listen.
But who is this person that Killingham is talking to though? That is perplexing.
Which one?
Like, whenever Killingham. I think it's page 9 through 10. It might be different from how like you're looking at it, but on mine it's page 9 and 10. It's like where the
Ange?
griffin is. No, no, no. It's like that pretty much blacked out silhouette with the hat, and he's talking about some. Do you remember? Or no, no, no. That's not even him speaking. Like it's pretty much like Killingham talking about like, do you remember the names of all the
Yep.
kids that we had march
That's
here? And then the guy says, of course.
that's the perspective of Ange from behind. So you see how like
Oh shit.
the panel top right above that, she's like,
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, cool, cool, cool.
yeah.
Okay, that's a bit. That's a bit. That works. So I'm like, why the hell is he silhouetted? Oh man.
Or the Killingham, like, dude, Killingham has done all this ridiculous stuff, right? And the thing that is the most crazy about him, we haven't even seen yet, dude. Mythical awakened zones are physically ridiculously strong.
Yep.
This man is built for brawling and is beating everyone on just fucking aura hacks.
No, I'm telling you, bro. That sleep paralysis that we seen in the last chapter, that shit is ridiculous. He
Um,
said, "Well, you know what? I just put you down with some sleep paralysis. I mean, that's
um,
some light shit, but
Imagine mid fight you get hit with sleep paralysis and he just fucking nut kicks you. Nothing you can do. You just watch it in slow motion.
no, like that's crazy as hell. Sleep paralysis goes full zone.
Mm.
What can you do, man?
Sleep paralysis. Your nightmare comes to life and like eats you alive.
That shit would be hell. Like, oh my
Actually,
god,
be just
that shit would
straight up
be.
like, dude, like his
I'd be cooked off the boulder.
his whole kit is just like disgusting at the moment. And
It really is, cause I ain't gonna lie,
there's
man.
still so many nightmares everywhere around the whole country.
Yeah, man. I
Oh,
mean, they're running amok right now.
oh my god! How did I not think of this?
Have a revelation.
Yep. Some do you ever have moments where sometimes you just forget how dumb you can be because of something that's just in your face that's not in your face?
Yes, all the time,
Bonnie
all the time.
and Lilith, aka Vegapunk, are
Yep.
with Frankie Gaban and Ripley.
Okay. I'm seeing
Do you know?
seeing the
Do you,
seeing the dinner table getting set.
do you know what is a just probably going to be a definitive easy counter to the God Knights?
Hold on.
Once I say it, you're literally gonna hang your head and go, "Fucking come on! How did I not think of that?"
Would it be Bonnie?
Not Bonnie. Think Vegapunk. Think Lilith. Sea Stone Bubblegum.
Can't see it right now.
Her
Bro, what the
s-
hell?
Her Sea Stone Bubblegum. Should
Yeah,
that like
yeah,
like
yeah.
in such a stupid hindsight, if they can't beat them, capture them. Reverse hostage.
No, and they have people that are able to defeat them. Like it's not like, it, oh my god, yeah, that's
It,
crazy as hell. Because I wasn't even thinking about Lilith in the Sea Stone Bubblegum. That's crazy as hell.
Cause
I wasn't even thinking
she's
about
been
that.
so absent the whole arc until now, like a fucking Chekhov's gun.
Yeah, she's just been checked out. That's crazy as hell.
Dude, dude, we're gonna kidnap the kids unless you agree to work for us, right? Imagine the phone call, right? Did you get the kids? Yeah, the Straw Hats kidnapped us and captured us. We need bail.
They call in like Garling or some shit.
I mean,
Nah, Garling. I kind of overhears the call. Hell no, I'm going. I
shit.
can't. I'll keep these slides.
Dare,
I'll keep
dare,
these like, bro. I want to go to Elbow.
dare I say, because I know this is gonna put a warm little shiver down your back.
What's up?
dare I say, when the God Knights make their moves, so will we. Get some revs show up. Learn that
I'd like it.
Vegapunk's bubble guns can capture them. Isn't there a mad
is.
scientist on the revs?
There sure is. We absolutely do have a. It's actually I believe he's for the South Balloon. I think it's South.
Oh,
It's
Karasu's
not.
north,
It's not.
Bella Betty's east, Morley's south. I think he's west.
He's West. Okay, then yeah.
Him or
But yeah,
Morley,
he's a.
Morley, or west or south. Like
Let me
those
look
two
it
dudes
up. Let me
flip
look it
around.
up. No, Lindbergh is South. That's what I'm thinking
Yeah,
of. Yeah,
Lindbergh.
he's South.
Yeah.
Cool. Yes, sir. Okay, cool. I know my characters. I know my army commanders. But yeah,
Would that not be fucking cool? If you get some of the reds
that'd be
show
pretty
up,
dope.
meet Lindbergh meeting Vegapunk, getting some of his tech for the revs. Because remember, Vegapunk wasn't anti-revs. He was just like, you guys don't have the funding.
'Cause I
Discount
mean, shoot.
bubble
Oh wait,
guns.
that'd be crazy.
Dis-
That'd be so crazy.
Discount bubble guns for the revs when they actually go and engage the full forces of the God Knights.
No, that'd be tough. I can't lie, because especially he is one of those, like, I mean, Lindbergh actually has a very good kit. I would want to see Lindbergh actually show up,
Dude,
really do what he needs to. Man,
his ice repeater, he's already shown that he can, he's a shooter. He's a tech shooter.
yep. Like, he's
We
literally already engineered certain
No.
things of like the laser shooter,
We
cool
can't.
shooter. Like,
Surely we can't, right? Because do you know what the most potentially broken character in One Piece would be at that point?
who is that?
Glocked out bubblegum Karasu. 40 crows going around with bubble glocks.
Real.
How?
Yeah, nah, Karasu would be a dog. I love Karasu. Man.
Oh, dude. I can't wait to get more Karasu love. Like, honestly speaking, he has such a beautifully unique kit. Like, he's one of the best Logia users with a shit Logia.
He puts good use to it, man. Like, I can't lie.
He just goes too hard.
Like, I just like his whole. Nah, yeah, like his whole demeanor is dope. Like, he literally has the little plague doctor mask. Like, that shit is cool as hell. Like, that shit is cool, man. Yeah. See, because now I want the Revolutionary Army to now drop in, and I don't even need Dragon to be there. I just want
Commanders, just
the
like
army commanders to show
like-
up. I just want the army commanders.
all you need is like a commander and 2 lieutenants, or 2 commanders and like a couple of underlings, right? And dude, imagine, we haven't seen Dragon do shit, right? Imagine them going back to Dragon, who's organizing this raid. You know how they've blockaded Marijua? They're stopping the food. The Celestial Dragons are starving, right? All these
Yep.
issues are happening. Just for Dragon to get on the fucking phone to Marijua and be like, we got some of you guys here. You want to trade?
That shit would go so like that would be overly tough. Like, I don't know, we get fucking like, I don't Moda, we get Hero, and then we get like shit Bello Betty, Lindbergh, and Morley to show up. I'd be cool with that. I'd be overly cool. Lindbergh comes in, he's like, damn, I've been in contact with Lilith, man.
Surely Morley, the giant in the revs, comes to the land of giants.
I'm telling you, bro, like, all we need is Morley, Lindbergh, and Haru, and Noma, bro. I'm telling you, and Noda. We're chilling. We're chilling, bro. That's all we need.
And they don't even need to do anything active. They just need to be on cleanup crew, get a little bit of info, And again, just imagine the Revs with those bubble guns in the war against the God Knights. It's set.
Ideally, actually, his fruit would actually be very useful at that point because he has the push fruit. I mean, he mainly just uses it on the ground from like what I've been seeing. He- So, I mean, ideally, low key, bro, I need Morley. We need Morley. I'd like to see it. Please. Like, oh my goodness, man.
It'd be really
See, oh my,
curious to see the push fruit try and combat the arrow fruit too.
yes,
Like,
I'd be overly cool.
Could Gunko redirect him if he was trying to move forward?
Yeah, it's like that'd be a very interesting look. Maybe we get a little bit of Bello Betty. I don't know. I mean, Bello
I mean,
Betty's is nice.
again,
She just has encouragement.
another ridiculous Chekhov's gun that we haven't seen, heard, or know shit about since we reached Elbaf. We still have Kuma here.
Sir, we definitely still have Kuma. It's real.
Dude, imagine just the God Knights just getting blipped.
Kuma's like, yeah, I'm cool, bro. He's
Or,
like, don't even worry about it. I got you guys.
I want to see, but I also don't want to see so badly what would win out, Gunko's arrow or Kuma's paw.
I got Kuma's paws in 5.
I kind of think so too, but like, unstoppable force, immovable object, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. I'm just biased for Kuma, bro. Kuma's been through too much. I'm biased.
Man, I really want to see how, like, I really want to get more details, and maybe I'm like rushing it too much. I really want to get more details on the Abyss. Because if
Yeah,
Gaban knows the
been
Void
doing too much
Century,
for
he may already be aware on the Abyss and how it works.
yeah, like I just need a bit more. Like I need like just a little bit of an explanation, and then I can really be like, I I can talk about it in a theory that I want to make. But as of right now, I can't because I don't have too much information and I don't have too much to parallel it off of, except for the whole thing of Brooke. That's about it. It's literally it.
The next heinous thing, Gaban Conqueror's Haki question mark? Summers Conqueror's Haki question mark?
They clash? Hmm. I want Scalper to have it. A lot of people have like, especially whenever I've been going live, they've been like, yeah, bro, I don't think he has it. I'm like, I don't know, man.
Well,
I don't know.
I think Gaban's already shown it when he was fighting Luffy, but I can understand like some people's hesitation on it, right? But like
Yeah.
when he hakied up that key, that looked like it was infused with Conqueror's Haki, and it fucked Luffy up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
And are you really gonna have Gaban be worse off than Rayleigh? Like, I get it. It's that whole Zoro Sanji thing. The wings of the Pirate King. Guys, just get on board. Just get on board.
Real.
We've been going for almost 2 hours. Do you want to give any predictions or theories for the next chapter before we wrap up?
Ideally, I just want to see more about the Abyss. Hopefully we got Robin's Awakening in 5. Um, and we get a little bit of more information on who's gonna save Joanna. That's about it.
I think we have to get Jarl's response. If not next chapter, the chapter after. Next chapter, I think we're going to see the God Knights go from being on top from a fighting standpoint to being like they are fallible, but we still can't beat them. You know what I mean? So like
That's true.
Robin spawning arms on top of Gunko. She can get hits on Gunko that Gunko can't redirect because she can just dissipate them and spawn them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, ideally, do you know what I think's gonna happen?
What's up?
Chopper's gonna stay hidden in Saul's beard. Because see how at the end of the chapter, Chopper's going, Robin, don't do it. I think Robin's angry and a little bit emotional here. It's a bit triggering. In Chopper's case, I think he's really understood what Saul said and is saying, the kid's the priority. We have to find a way to save them safely. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
I can see Robin jump in the beginning of next chapter. Millefleur, right? Gunko, neck snap, back crack, roll her up and toss her to the side, right? Reforms again. Robin, snap again, right? Robin's other hands freeze the other Straw Hats. Jinbei, Nami, Usopp, Brook. Unbound, right? Gunko goes to use the arrows and that to redirect Robin, but because the limbs are spawning off her, it's a really hard, like, it's like a hard counter, right?
Okay.
Summers turns around, hits Robin with the spikes. Every one of Robin's limbs, like even the ones she's creating, get one of those like metaphorical spikes, she just takes mad damage. Robin counters Gunko, Summers counters Robin. Robin looks like she's in dire straits. In comes the Missionary of Love to save Robin and start fighting Summers while Robin can fight Gunko. Next chapter, that's going to be like 75% of it. The other 25 is going to be Jarl giving his answer or pondering the answer with everyone being like, you can't do this, you can't do it, right? Before he's like gonna, adamantly, like, begrudgingly say yes. And we're gonna get that Monster Trio's reaction to something's happening up top.
And then that's just how we break for chapter.
Yeah,
I like it.
Do you know what? I'm gonna make it even worse. The Monster Trio actually don't sense it. Loki senses it and calls them out on it. Haven't you noticed what's happening?
No, yeah, I could definitely see that happening.
You get that, take a look. Haven't you noticed what's happening? This kingdom's already doomed, right? And, you'll get Sanji chime in and go, actually, I did sense something weird before. Hold on a second. And he sort of, like, concentrates for a second and goes, fuck, the girls are in trouble. Disappears.
Nah, yeah, he just automatically dips. That's real.
Gone. Zoro looking at Luffy. Sanji's gone in first, right? Zoro looking at Luffy. Luffy looks at him. I got this. You go up. So Luffy keeps Loki in check. The others, start darting up. And maybe I'm holding out too much hope in that. Do you know what would be a really great last-minute introduction at that point in time? Not next chapter, maybe a chapter or two later?
We get a Din Din Mushi call to the Revolutionary Army.
Nah. Luffy's babysitting Loki, and who fucking appears? Useless Captain Mid.
Oh, shit. Oh, man. That'd be funny.
A third-party person who's weaker than Luffy that could potentially distract Luffy enough to help Loki escape and break out.
That's real.
Luffy's hands are tied trying to stop Loki from leaving because he's Luffy's responsibility. Both of them are weaker than Luffy individually, but on a 2v1, Luffy may have some issues. He's not doing that. Yeah, he may have some issues.
He's not doing that one.
Especially if Loki keeps taunting him with you can't focus on us, there's more important shit happening up top.
So you're just putting him in an ultimatum at that point.
Because, like, let's be so for real, right? There's only 3 ways that the story gets to progress without shit getting done at the moment, right? Luffy's removed from the situation, Luffy's put in an ultimatum for the situation, right? Or Luffy is just in a situation where fighting the big bad here and now, right, is a detriment to everyone else.
Right.
Other than those 3, bitch, it's hands on sight. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Luffy was... No, because he didn't do any lasting damage to Saturn, did he?
No. If anything, I think the only bit of damage that he really like put upon somebody was Workery, but even that was like, eh. I think the only real like everlasting damage that we really seen from the Gorosei was like whenever Emmett was actually fighting.
I'm torn. I'm not gonna lie, I'm torn. Because this section of the story, right? Egghead was more like Sabaody. Elbaf is more like Amazon Lily, right?
Yep, I've already
We've
I've
made
already seen it for what it is.
we've made that connection. The big thing of
Yep,
Amazon Lily is it led into a rescue arc.
exactly.
And I don't know, nothing screams more like hell post time skip, like Impel Down to Marineford.
Well, yeah, like because essentially like that's why I say that like our next arc is like probably going to be Marie Joie at best, especially because it's like if we had to go underwater, essentially, like of course we weren't underwater, but we were in the water. For like Luffy going to Impel Down, I would assume that we would have to go to the top, which of course like Marie Joie is very hellish in its sense of like how we see the Gorison members and even Emu. So like I would assume that's probably where they're gonna go. That's like my
See,
biggest assumption for as of right now.
the problem is because the red line wraps around the whole world. Like a Marie Joie arc starts in Marie Joie and then could literally take you anywhere around the planet.
Exactly. So
So
it's like we can really go anywhere.
so it's like I could see, paralleling pre-time skip, you know, science arc, Egghead Sabaody, right? Get
Hmm.
introduced to the top tiers, like the new top tiers in that arc, Admirals Gorosei, right? You show that you can't quite beat them, but you try to put up a fight, but this, that, and the other happened, right? Go to Amazon Lily slash Elbaf, right? An isolated country with its own culture, a really strong warrior spirit, but then you learn about someone that's been captured by the world government that you have to go on a rescue mission for, then going to hell and fighting through all the rings of hell, right? To save these kids,
Hmm.
to save someone that is no longer there, right? So, like, if they go to Marie Joie, or, sorry, let me rephrase that. They don't even start Marie Joie, because it's not that they go to Marie Joie. They probably go to New Marineford slash the Red Port and have to fight their way up.
Well, yeah, because I mean the new board is literally like right beside Marie Joie.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, you know how in a weird way, right? You know how Impel Down had the Gates of Justice and the security checks outside of the island?
Yeah.
Marineford may be kind of like that to Marie Joie. So it's like they try to bypass it, and like realistically, if that's happening, fucking someone is getting all the wiser, right? Why would the Straw Hat crew call the Grand Fleet? Realistically, if anyone's calling the Grand Fleet, it's going to be one of the girls on the crew because kids have been kidnapped and they just want to save kids.
That's true. That could also lead into the whole like thing of the Grand Fleet incident that was like supposed to
It,
happen.
it, it could
That's crazy.
literally, they get on the phone going, hey, it's the Straw Hats here, right? You know Hudrudan, one of our own? Well, they stole kids from his country. let's group up.
Real.
They group up, they start making their moves, and it like, typical domino effect. The revolutionaries are already trying to do what the Straw Hats are going to do. They're already trying to have a siege and then a fight with Marijois, right? So it's like, next arc, if we start heading to Marijois, it's going to be heading to Marijois and teaming up with the Revs one way or another, right?
That's true.
But at the same time, right, we sort of have some other, like, issue third-party sorts of things, because who's with the Revs, but not on the Revs side, at the Rocky Port, watching the sabotaging of the Celestial Dragons?
Wait, you said it's on the side of the Revolutionary?
That's not on the side of the Revolutionaries, but with them at the moment.
Is with them. Wait, hold on. That's with them right now.
I'll give you a clue.
Hold on, yeah.
The best portrayed stealth user in the series.
The best portrayed stealth user?
The dude that can mask his presence and blitz Vice Admirals, Warlords, the world's strongest swordsman, and a fleet admiral all at once. Lafitte.
Oh, because Lafitte has been checking in on them. He also relayed back the information of what was happening with the whole food shortage.
So if the
with
Straw Hat
Marijois.
and Grand Fleet,
Damn, that's true.
if
That's
the
true.
Straw Hat and Grand Fleet start moving there, and the Revs start making their move to the Revs have already started attacking Marijois, right? In some shape and form.
Yep.
Right? Blackbeard crew is
It's putting it
keeping
full motion.
Blackbeard crew is keeping tabs. The Straw Hats start going there to save children, right? All of a sudden, how does this end up looking so much like Marineford? World's strongest man versus the Marines? World's worst criminal versus the world government? Luffy going to save kids? Or Luffy going to save, people important to him that have been taken by them? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Blackbeard third party? Starting to look a lot like Marineford.
Yeah, true. So, I mean, shoot. Even Blackbeard could even taunt Luffy with the whole fact of, "I got your grandpa, bro." He could even taunt him like, "I know you haven't seen your grandpa in a while. Wonder why that's the case here."
Something big.
Just gaslighting them. Just gaslighting them.
The only thing that is a true odd outlier to me right now that I cannot tell you what they are or aren't going to do. Cross Guild, who the next time we see, truly, I believe, Perona and Moria are going to have returned from Hajinosu and joined.
That'd be interesting. Damn, okay. Damn, that makes me look at a lot of different things now. Hold on. Okay. No, I can agree.
Alright, we've been going for a while though. I'm going to have to wrap up here, unfortunately, guys. We've just hit over the 2-hour mark, right? Drac, thank you so much for coming to the conversation. I'm sorry to leave it on a cliffhanger like that, but that's all the more reason for us to have more weekly discussions and stuff like that, because we can keep this ball rolling, keep the theories a brewing, and keep the insights and perspectives are going, right? Because,
Sorry.
this series, phenomenal. So many little, intricate things, right? Do you know how many times I learned something new reading this series? I'm switched on with this series. Every time I reread this thing or reread a chapter, I'm learning something new. So always good for the conversations, always good for it. Drac, for the guys on TikTok, you guys already know Drac. You know what to do. Mutual mind, you see me with him all the time. I share his stuff all the time. But for those of you watching this over on YouTube, Drac, do you want to plug any of your socials for over on YouTube?
Oh, of course, like whenever it comes to Dracula D Rage, it's pretty much everything that I like use for like social medias and whatnot, TikTok mainly, of course. And anytime you see me, of course, I'm talking about theories and speculations, making a speculation into a theory. So, yeah.
Wonderful. Until the next chapter of One Piece, or until the next video of mine you watch, whatever it is you're here for, thank you guys and girls for coming through. Couldn't do it without you. Always fun sharing thoughts and ideas. Love yous all. Thank you. Have a damn good day. Goodbye.